In 1921, the border city of Sopron agreed to remain part of Hungary, a fact still commemorated by way of its fountain of Fidelity and Marian column. A small city with a long history and whose historic old town is home to Hungary's most Gothic buildings. Plus magnificent ancient structures. Scarbantia was what the Romans called this former village in their province of Pannonia, later developing it into a city of which many original elements have remained intact. The later addition of a medieval city wall, which followed typical Roman plans, ensured the survival of the city. Due to a devastating fire in 1676, the city was subsequently rebuilt according to Baroque design. In the 13th century, Sopron was awarded the status of a free royal city, and later many Hungarians fled here from the Turks. Ursuline Square and the Marian fountain are framed by medieval buildings whose arcade passages radiate peace and seclusion. The stone fountain has adorned the square since the 1930s. Prior to that, it was located in the courtyard of the Benedictines Church. The Szent Györgyi Utca leads further into the historic old town, towards the main square. Well-preserved buildings flank the narrow street. And here there are gateways with niches for guards and servants, and atmospheric arcade courtyards decorated with colourful flowers. This architectural style and way of life emanates from late Renaissance and early Baroque times. Next, the fire tower and new city hall, as we approach the main square. The fauteuil is not large but impresses with its fine buildings and monuments. It replaced the Roman Forum and medieval marketplace. The mighty Trinity column dominates the main square. This Baroque monument is a replica of the Plague column in Vienna and dates from around 1700 AD. Behind it is the Church of Mary and its popular name, the Goat Church. Built by the Franciscans, the church witnessed the coronations of a king of Hungary and two queens. The facade of the old pharmacy is a good example of building conservation. Founded in 1642, it still possesses its original features. The 61-meter-high fire tower is the emblem of the city as it rises above the city gate, crowned by a clock tower. The view across the rooftops of the old town, the Church of Mary and the narrow streets is quite overwhelming, an historical work of art. Each corner of the main square shows something different, with the elegant, classical county authority house and its monumental column portico stealing the show. Fabricius House the Mining Museum and the Esterhazy Palace are built on Roman foundations and contain Romanesque and Gothic walls and facades that date back to the 18th century. Close by, world-famous composer Ferenc Liszt was often a guest in Storno House. Indeed, he performed his first public concert in Sopron. Templar Mutka leads away from the main square and past the evangelical church, which was built when Joseph II guaranteed freedom of religious faith to his subjects. The crooked streets have cobbled pavements, and most of the buildings have 1 or 2 floors and are painted in various colours. From the narrow Fegiverta Utka, Ursuline Square cannot be seen, only a neo-Gothic church. This Catholic church once formed part of an anonymous monastery that was founded in 1747. Full of outstanding religious art. The compact dimensions of the old town allow visitors to roam the lanes again and again, including the Jewish district in Uj-Utka. Built in 1300, this medieval synagogue is one of the oldest in Europe. By law, its prayer room was not permitted to be located directly on the road. A Gothic portal leads into a rectangular prayer hall, the centre of which contains the Bema, a rostrum for readings from the Torah. In 1526, the synagogue was abandoned and turned into a residential building when Sopron's Jewish population was cast out. However, in 1975, the building was completely restored. Since then, the old synagogue has been open to the public, and the faithful are once again allowed to practice their religion. A narrow footpath travels along the city walls. The medieval city wall mostly follows the oval town plan of Roman times, the exterior Barbakane looking particularly impressive. At the beginning of the 9th century, Bavarian settlers called this construction, situated in the middle of Roman ruins and abandoned by the Avars, the Desert Fortress.